Well, here we go. Harley Davidson Pan America. I'll tell you this, it's high. I don't really feel like I'm sitting in this bike. I'm sitting on top of it.
Hi guys. Well, in my last video that I posted, I said that I had gone to look at a new Goldwing, or I was thinking about looking at a new bike for my 70th birthday. And I looked at Goldwings. I also have been to look at Harley Davidsons. Now, there are two boxes that I haven't checked off in my motorcycling, and that is an adventure bike or a Harley Davidson. Those are two items that I haven't owned, and I've got some thought that maybe I could check two boxes off with one transaction, a Pan America. Now, a couple of things. I've heard good and I've heard bad. I know that Moto Travels, Craig, had some problems with his. He bought it new and he got rid of it right away. I guess it wasn't reliable. I think the first ride that he went on, it broke down on him. I subsequently met somebody out in Montana. I guess it was Montana. He and his son were out riding, and they were checking out my Goldwing out in the parking lot. I saw them from the room, and I went out and talked to them. The son had a BMW GS, and the father had a Pan America. He absolutely raved about it. Now, it wasn't the first year. It was brand spanking new. I think he had 10,000 miles on it, but he had purchased it in 2022, and he loved it. He said, all the problems that people have talked about, he had never experienced any of them. So it's with a little bit of skepticism that I go today to the Harley Davidson dealership here in Manchester and take a test ride. I was over there looking at Harley Davidsons, and they've been after me since to come over and take a ride. They said I could ride anything I wanted to, and I think that may be the only Harley Davidson at this point, new at least, that I would consider. I have no interest in paying $20,000 to $30,000 or all the way up to $50,000 for a new Harley Davidson, and probably other than the Pan America, the only one that I'd be interested in is the Road Glide. But they're a lot of money, and honestly, from what I've seen of Harley Davidson, the purchase price is only the beginning. After that, it's new seat, new handlebars, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. I mean, they're in your pocket all the time. And that's if you want to make it comfortable, customized for you. I had the experience out in Arizona where I rented a 2005, and I could see why people replaced the stock seat. I didn't find it comfortable at all. Maybe it was something that I could have gotten used to, but I don't want to have to get used to something. I want it to be comfortable from day one. I want it to perform well from day one. And it just, I don't know. Now, the Pan America, I think, is a different creature. You're packing 150 horsepower right out of the chute. It's water cooled. I think that probably the engine is the strong point of the bike. I think it has a lot of things on it, like the lowering suspension, so you can get on and off of it comfortably. That's all well and good, but from my point of view, those things just end up being problems in the future, things that you have to fix, things that you have to maintain. And I pretty much like simplicity. Now, the trade-off for simplicity is reliability. There are brands that are very reliable, even though they're not simple. My Goldwing is an example. Basically trouble-free. And not that it's decked out with a lot of technological innovation, but what it does have is very reliable. I think the thing that goes wrong on them the most is the switchgear. And if you maintain them with some WD-40, etc., even those are pretty reliable. I've never had a problem. I think my bike was well maintained before I bought it. It only had less than 9,000 miles on it, even though it was 12 years old. And it was owned by the father of a dealership, KTM dealership owner. So I know that he was taking good care of his dad's bike while his dad owned it. Thank you. And, you know, I reaped the benefits. I bought that bike for a third of what it cost brand new. And I'm very, very happy with it. I really have no desire to get rid of it, although PSP Tommy G is chasing me to sell it to him. It would be a hard sell because I love the bike so much. And on top of that, Sharon is very comfortable on it. And that's, you know, that's a good combination. A bike that I like and it's comfortable for her. So I think I would be hard pressed to sell that. I'm not looking to get rid of any bikes to make a new bike purchase, although I think at some point I'm going to have to get rid of some motorcycles. 6 right now is too many, and if I add one, 7 is just, I mean, it's ridiculous. The maintenance, the insurance, the registration, and on top of all that, you have to ride them. And that can become a full-time job. So, I'm going over here to take a ride. I've got my camera on my helmet. I'll shoot some video. This is not going to be a review. It's going to be an impressions ride. I'll tell you what my impressions are of the bike. I'm anxious to ride it. I've been curious about that bike since it came out. And we're going to fulfill a desire here today. Beautiful day in New Hampshire. It's October 27th. It's the birthday of a friend. Happy birthday, Phyllis. I know you don't watch my videos, and I know your husband Steve doesn't watch my videos, but I'll say happy birthday to you anyway, officially, on YouTube. And we're going to go out to dinner with them tomorrow night. But this will be your birthday present to me. A ride on a 2000, I think it's a 23, Harley Davidson Pan America. Stay tuned. I'll let you know what I think as I'm thinking it, which is usually the case with my videos. Kind of a stream of thought, you know? Anyway, that's it for right now. I'm almost at the dealership. Over and out.
Shift smooth, the clutch is an easy pull. Brakes are pretty responsive. Nice feel to the clutch. And the brakes are good. Front brake particularly, the back brake, I don't know. You know, these mirrors would have to be adjusted. They're all the way out as far as they'll go right now. I will say this. This doesn't give you high enough where you can't really stand up off the seat, which I like to do. It's a high lift to the pegs, but not objectionable. The one thing that it does not have that I really like on a Harley-Davidson is the Harley-Davidson sound. This is a different beast. And I'm not sure that this would fulfill my unchecked box of owning a Harley-Davidson. It would be a Hino, you know, like a Rhino, only a Harley in name only. Plenty of torque. I mean, you could even start second or third gear. I think this thing would have plenty of torque to pull. And yeah, I would definitely have to push these mirrors out there. As far as I'd have to move the whole arm to get them where I would want them. That's okay. Just simple adjustments to make it your own. I think I'd want these handlebars to come back a little bit too. I find that I'm leaning on them a bit more than I like. A pretty good balance. Slow speed is not a problem. Putting a little bit more pressure on my wrists than I like. I don't really think I'd be able to have a driver's backrest on this. And the other thing that I found is when I put my right foot down, I've got the peg hitting me in the back of the calf or in the front of the shin, which is a little strange. Yeah, it doesn't look like it would be that far a reach to these handlebars, but it is. The seat is hard, but it's a brand new bike. I guess that wears in a little bit. And I typically will do okay with hard seat. My Tourmaster seat from who makes that seat? You know, big seat maker. Can't remember the manufacturer. How's this thing dip in? Oh, nice. Nice. Turns in very nicely. Kind of a neutral feel. Woo! This thing got some kick, baby. This thing has got some kick. It's kind of an odd feeling, and I'm sure, as I said, everything, you get used to everything. It's a brand spanking new bike to me, and a new seating position, really. But it's very high, and it feels a little strange when you turn in a little bit. Let's see. Very easy to get used to. Of course, we're not cranking it. just going to go for a little ride here around the airport. It's in fourth gear. Still got plenty of oomph. Downshift to third, you got the gear indicator, tachometer, and speedometer all in one screen. Very, very nicely laid out, easy to see. It's not a bright day today, but I can see that even on a bright day, it would be good. Fuel gauge, really everything you need to know. It's not 9:43 p.m. The clock needs to be set. That's a deal breaker for me. You got the bark busters here, but I'm still getting a little wind on my hands, which is nice. That's one thing on the Goldwing. When I'm on the Goldwing, it's like you're pretty much in a cocoon of comfort. And switchgear feels fine, almost on Japanese level of quality. Of course, you see how that's going to be after 30,000 miles. But right now, it feels pretty good. All right. Go, 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 Aiden. Go, 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 go. Well, we're going to stop. That's okay. Wow, this thing has got some punch. Oh, this guy, okay, thank you. These people at Manchester Harley Davidson have been excellent, very accommodating, very efficient in terms of their follow-up. I can't say enough about that. Now, part of the question for me becomes, do I need an adventure bike? I mean, basically, for all intents and purposes, if I purchased this, I wouldn't be riding on dirt, or I wouldn't be riding on dirt very much. I mean, you know, I'm not a dirt rider. I didn't start out riding on dirt, so it would be a completely new learning experience for me. And from what I see of every video I watch of the guys who ride adventure bikes on dirt, this pretty much is too big. It's too heavy. Even though it's fairly light compared to my other bikes, it's just not really made for dirt. Yeah, graded gravel roads or graded dirt roads, that's fine, but it seems to me that, of course, everybody I watch, it starts out on one of those, ends up on something they didn't expect, that ends up being too heavy for their bike. I don't want to fall. I can't afford to break things at my age. I'm talking about body parts, not bike parts. And I really have no desire to get hurt. So this would be a road bike. And the question becomes, do I need another road bike? I've got a fast road bike in my Katana. Even though it doesn't run right now, it will. And this bike would not keep up with that. I'm positive of that. That bike has a much better feel. So see, here's my foot now. I either have to put away in front, in which case my knee is touching the heat shield, or I have to put it behind, in which case it's hitting my shin. So, what the f? The other thing is the way I'm sitting on this thing, there is a lot of pressure. The seat creates a lot of pressure on my haunches and also on the boys. The boys are kind of cramped on this. We don't want pressure on the boys. The family jewels, that's what I've got. And I would have to say, although the bike is good for a test ride, I'm not sure that I would want to ride this for hours on end. And that's really what I like to do. So as far as an around here bike, not so much. The other thing, does this have cruise control? Very smooth. I'm going to say that. For a V-twin, this is very smooth, very machine-like. Unlike a big V-twin, which is a little thumpy and there's a bit of vibration. There's none of that in this. But again, this seat just doesn't hack it, guys. This seat just doesn't hack it. But that's okay. It was worth a ride anyway. I had the controls, the hand controls, the clutch and the brake, very comfortable, but I will say that the hand grips are very hard, and maybe because of the seating position, I'm already getting numb fingertips, and that could just... Oh, I got a phone call coming in that I can't answer. I don't know if that cancels out my record. And now we're going to have a deal getting off of this. Oh, no kidding. Wow. Okay. Let me see if I can. Yeah, okay. There you go. This thing going to hold me here? Yeah, it should.
Well, back from the test ride, and I have to say, it was a blast. That bike, that Pan America, has a ton of stuff going for it. It is fast, powerful, but not comfortable. At least not for me. Now, the one thing is about Harley Davidsons, you can pretty much make them fit anybody. It would definitely have to have a new seat, some different grips, And driver's backrest would be a necessity, and the handlebars would have to have a set of risers installed, which probably means changing out cables and everything, because it wasn't comfortable for me. Now, I'm only 5'8". I weigh too much, and it just wasn't a long haul bike for me, straight out of the box, like a Goldwing is. And I can't even say that about the new Goldwings. I only had about a half-hour test ride on the 2019 Goldwing. You can see that video on my channel. And that seat did not look comfortable to me, but half an hour later, I was still comfortable. This one, not so much. Within 10 minutes, I had pressure on my haunches, and as I said, the family jewels are not going to be sacrificed for a Harley-Davidson Pan America. So that seat would definitely have to be changed. A lot of pressure on my wrists, almost like my Katana at under 80 miles an hour. My Katana is not comfortable under 80 miles an hour, just a lot of pressure on my wrists. Get up to around 80 miles an hour and adjust the windscreen properly, which is electric, and it kind of gives a lift to your chest, so you don't feel that pressure on your wrists on that bike. But this one, I don't. Maybe it would be the same, but it still doesn't negate the problem with the seat. And of course, I was honest with the salesman and the sales manager, and as good salespeople will do, they inform me that all of that stuff can be fixed, and it's all negotiable when it comes to pricing. So that's good to know. We'll see. I don't know if an adventure bike is in my future, and if it is, I'm not sure that it would be the Harley-Davidson. It's chain drive. I tend to like no maintenance, which usually involves either a shaft drive, or I've never owned a belt drive, but I understand that they are pretty reliable and pretty much maintenance free as well. The Katana has a chain, and that's never been a problem for me in terms of maintaining it. Every 500 miles you spray it with lubricant, beeswax, whatever it is that they put on there, which I've done. And I think at 20, I don't know how many miles that thing has on it. It's over 20, but it's less than 30. And I just had the original chain on until I had the thing gone through a few years ago, and I haven't ridden it since. I wasn't able to ride it once it was all gone through. And we'll be taking some rides on that as well. Well, it was a good experience. I didn't drop it. That is honestly the second demo ride that I've done in 50 years of riding, if you can believe that. I would like to do some more demo rides. I'd like to try out some different bikes. And an adventure bike is really kind of the only thing that I haven't had. I guess you could say I haven't had a dual sport or a dirt bike either. I have no desire to own a dirt bike, and honestly, I don't see much difference between an adventure bike and a dual sport, although I know a dual sport is lighter, blah, 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 blah. I think it's pretty much a distinction without a difference. Maybe somebody can square me away on that. I've never really understood the delineation between the two, and I've actually asked some adventure bike riders, and they haven't really been able to explain it to me either. But I would say that overall, the bike is phenomenal. Now, reliability, that's a whole different deal. You'd have to speak with someone who's owned one for some time to get an answer on that. But I can tell you this, out of the box, it's not comfortable for me. That's pretty much it. I'm on my way home. The other thing that the Harley-Davidson has going for it is the dealer network. That's one of the reasons that I looked at it, because if I were going to use it as a cross-country touring machine, I'm pretty conscious of that, of needing service on the road and having something close enough where a dealership can help you out with either parts or service, and that's kind of critical as far as I'm concerned. But we shall see. We shall see. I've already stated that generally I think that used bikes are a much better deal than new bikes. I think they give you a better indication as well of the reliability, the long-term reliability of a motorcycle. You know, if you can go out and ride something with 30,000, 40,000 miles on it and it feels like it's brand new, then it's probably going to be pretty reliable. I don't know where I would find a Pan America to try that has 30,000, 40,000 miles on it. But at this point, it's not an issue. That's pretty much it. That's all I got. If I could ask you to subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it. I've been working on this since 2019 is when I started my channel. I've only got 792 subscribers. I'm thankful for every one of them. I'm thankful for every view. But as I've said, I'd like to get this to where I could at least earn a little money off this. And I've got to have 1,000 subscribers in order to do that. So if you'd be kind enough to subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. If not, that's okay. Do it your way. If you could leave me a like, I'd appreciate that as well. But under any circumstances, I appreciate you taking the time to view the video. And for now, I'll say over and out. Thanks a lot, guys.